Hi guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to Sparkle Droid. Last night you saw my sister and I make waxless candles, so I wanted to show you what the finished product looks like. Jen took our candle home, but I have these little star ones that I made, and they turned out really well. I put some glitter in there so that when you light them, they'll look really cool. They'll light up. And then here's the one you guys actually saw me coloring. Turned out really well, really orange. If I had a pumpkin spice scent, I would definitely put it in this candle. It looks great. Or glitter, because why not? And I put a little ribbon around it, and these will probably end up being gifts for someone. That's one of the reasons I like that craft so much. It's really easy, and they make beautiful gifts that you can give to whoever you want. So I'm back and kind of testing out different ways to film for this channel. I found something that actually let me use the camera and the microphone on my Chromebook at the same time, and believe it or not, that's really hard to find. But here it is. I have to do all the filming in one take, so there's no stopping, there's no changing things up. It has to just be what it is, so hopefully it's good. Today, I am going to show you guys how to make one of my favorite dishes. It's a salmon dish that I have had before, and I think it's just really great for summer. It tastes amazing. And it also includes baby spinach, which is pretty good for you. So if you're looking for something lighter and on the healthier side, this is a really delicious recipe, and it's one of my favorites. So I'm going to show you how to make it. I actually started filming this earlier and then realized that I hadn't been paying tons of attention at the grocery store, and I had bought a scaled salmon. So I actually had to take all the scales off of the one side that had scales. I thought it just had skin. I didn't know that they actually hadn't descaled it. So my pieces of salmon look a little rough, but they're still going to taste really good. The cool thing about salmon is that you really don't need very much to season it. Salmon tastes delicious on its own. So the only thing I'm going to put on this before I put it into the pan is salt. So you want to salt each side of your fish. I know you guys can't really see me doing this, but I'll hold up the plate a little bit. Flip it. And some people shy away from fish because they think it's expensive or it's hard to do, and it's really neither of those things. You can get as expensive or as inexpensive with fish as you want. Throw this away, hold on. It's kind of up to you. And as far as it being difficult to cook, not true. There's a simple mistake that a lot of people make, but if you avoid that, it's really pretty simple. So I've salted my fish on both sides, and I have on the stove a pan heating over medium to high heat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil in that pan. It's just about ready to smoke, so I know it's the right temperature. I know you guys can't see it, but it's basically oil in a pan. It's not anything too terribly exciting. The next thing I'm going to do, yep, that's smoking. I want to turn that down just a skosh. Next thing I'm going to do is put my fish in my pan. And when you're doing this, you always want to lay the fish away from you so that if any oil splashes up, it doesn't hit you. Like that. So you can probably hear, pretty loud, probably hear that fish cooking. The cool thing about salmon is that it's really easy to tell when it's time to flip. You can actually see the color change. And once I wipe my hands off, I will show you guys that. But you can actually watch the color change, and that's about when you know it's time to flip your salmon. So the big mistake that people make when cooking fish, especially I made this mistake a lot when I first started learning to cook fish. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to move your fish very much. I mean, you can, it's not going to ruin it, but you won't get that even cook that you really want. I'm going to see if I can show you guys what this looks like. Adventures in the kitchen with the Chromebook. All right, so there's our salmon. And you can see, ouch, you can see the color starting to change there. And that's really your barometer for how long you keep the salmon cooking on that one side. So, that oil splashed on me, ow. I'm also going to tip my pan because my stove is uneven and it actually tilts. So all of the, whatever I'm cooking, it always goes to the left, and whatever's on the right is sad and left out, so I have to watch it. The other thing you're looking for in addition to color is a beautiful kind of golden brown crust. I'm good. And that's how you know you are cooking your salmon through and through. So I'm going to show you what that golden brown color looks like. It looks just like that. Wow, directions, it's hard to... Woo! All right, so we're going to let that other side cook. Fish cooks pretty quickly, and especially you're going to want to gauge, depending on the size of your fish and the thickness and the length, because as the fish papers out into the tail, of course it gets a little thinner. So you're going to want to gauge how long you cook whatever piece of fish you're working with based on how thick it is. My salmon is a little bit thin, so I really don't need to cook it very long. Now I'm going to get ready to take my salmon off by putting a paper towel on a clean plate. I just realized this is not a clean plate. That's what I use to take the scales off the salmon. Clean plate. All right. Paper towel, clean plate. Those are just about finished. Probably. Whew, look at that. Pretty quick. Take that other piece. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to let any of the excess oils kind of drain off. Turn off my oven and kind of let the fish rest. The heat that's left over from cooking, if the fish is not finished, will probably continue to cook it through. Because these are so thin, I'm not too worried about having a fish that isn't cooked through. But if it's something you are concerned about, you can buy a candy thermometer or a food thermometer. And the internal temperature of salmon should be about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you really want to be sure, get yourself a candy thermometer or a food thermometer so you can be 100% certain. I'm not too worried again because they're pretty thin pieces, so probably safe. All right, so we've got our salmon cooked, and now we're going to get the baby spinach ready that it's going to rest on. Now, I know some people, when they make this, they like to cook the spinach down a little bit in the pan that they just had the salmon in. I don't like to do that because I know it wilts the salmon, but putting it under a hot piece of fish will do that anyway. So I like to avoid getting any of the olive oil that's left in the pan on the greens that I'm putting under the salmon because it makes them, to me, taste a lot fresher and not, drenched in oily stuff because we just needed that for cooking. It doesn't have to season the rest of our food. So, and the reason I have to keep leaving is because I have a tiny counter. So I can't have everything out. So I'm going to go grab a plate. Back. All right. you're going to take your baby spinach. I've already washed my baby spinach, but washing whatever food that you're using is always a good idea because you just never know. And it's better to have washed it just so you're sure. Probably wouldn't kill you, but it's not hard to do it. So I'm putting my baby spinach on the plate. And then I'm going to take my fish and put it over the baby spinach. So that's what it looks like so far. But that's not a very exciting dish. And while it would probably taste fine, there's a lot more you can do at this point to really make it taste brighter and bring more summer flavors into the equation, which is why I bought grape tomatoes, which again, I already washed them. Now you can put these on whole, but I really like to have them so that it's not too much of a tomato experience, I guess, at one time. I'm gonna grab another knife. Again, I don't have room for anything on this counter. It's small. It's very small, but it's okay. All right. All right, so I am having these grape tomatoes, and you can use cherry tomatoes. You could even use regular tomatoes if you want, but I never thought that regular garden tomatoes had much of a taste, especially, I hate to say it, but grocery store garden tomatoes. I don't know. I've had good tomatoes, but they've always come right out of someone's backyard. Cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes keep a lot of their flavor. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah. And it's a great way to add some color to your dish as well. So that's why I like to use them. All right. Oop, that one tried to go back in the container there. Nope. You're stuck being my food. Lost my sentence there. That's okay. All right. The next thing that I'm going to add, because, again, this is because I like it. Once you've got your salmon cooked, once you've got your baby spinach, you can really add whatever you like, whatever you think is going to taste good. Cooking isn't really a right or wrong thing, especially if you're just cooking for yourself. If it tastes good to you, go for it. Put peanut butter on your pickles. If you like it, I say do it. So this is something that I like. I really enjoy goat cheese, especially on a salad with tomatoes. I think it tastes really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some of these goat cheese crumbles on my salmon and baby spinach. I might actually crumble some of these bigger ones down to smaller crumbles. There we go. Oh my God, I'm hungry. This looks great. And really, this is the only reason I'm doing this. It's because it's fun for me. I don't claim to be like a great chef or a great crafts person. These are things that I enjoy, which is why I figured, you know what? Why don't I just share that with people? And I think YouTube's a great way to share things you like with people. So this has been really fun for me, and I hope that you guys continue to tune in and kind of watch me do my thing. And if you have any suggestions or things you want me to try to make or things you want me to cook, you can let me know down in the comments. Again, please leave a like or a subscribe. I guess don't leave a subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. I'm so new at this. Look at this. And I will see you guys next time. I'll leave you guys with a shot of the awesome food we just made together. Man, directions and this camera. I'm so bad at them. All right. There you have it. Didn't even take very long. Okay, guys, I will see you next time. Until then, have fun creating whatever it is you like to create. All right, see ya.